Homemade mac and cheese. So we're gonna do some chicken broth with water to start off with to, cook the noodles. Or, yeah. I'm gonna do about half a box of it. And then I'm gonna fill the rest up with water. So now we have the water with the chicken broth on the stove. We're gonna add some salt just to help boil it a little bit faster. Just a little bit. So now we're gonna let this just heat up. So I have the Great Value Elbows noodles. So noodles right on in. Give it a good mix just to move around all the noodles. So to the butter, you're gonna let it melt, and then we're gonna add some garlic powder. You're gonna add some onion powder. I'm gonna add some salt to it. Some black pepper. Some paprika for some color. Now we're just gonna mix this around, just so that we can melt down that butter even more. So I have a half cup of flour, but we're not gonna add all that. And now we're gonna add about half of that. And you're just gonna mix it in. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take about a half a cup of whole milk, and that's gonna go right on in. And I'm gonna do the heavy cream, about a half cup. Now we're gonna mix that up. That's how it's looking. Then we're gonna go back in with a little bit of the seasonings. So we got garlic powder, onion powder, then black pepper, we're gonna skip the salt for now because I don't like to use a lot of salt. Give that a good mix. Now we're gonna turn off the heat. So I'm gonna take some mozzarella that I shredded. This is the cheese that I shredded. I'm gonna do about 2 handfuls. And just want to mix that in. Then we have some like Colby Jack, mild, and I think some sharp cheese in this bag. And we're gonna do about 2 handfuls again. Then give that a good mix. I am going to add a little bit more milk just to thin it out a little bit. I added a little bit of milk just to, you know, thin it a little bit. It's definitely going to be cheesy. Might add a little bit more milk. It's always good to start with a little bit and then add. Look at that. So yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more milk. Definitely good on cheese for now. About that much. Heat because the pot is still warm. So that's how it's looking. Mix. So I'm gonna let these noodles cook for a little bit more. And what we're gonna do is add some of that broth from the noodles that are cooking into it. Say about that much, and then you could just mix that into it too. Oh, that looks good. And I'll be back in a minute. We're gonna take the cheese sauce. That's gonna go right on in. And then now to mix this. Preheat your oven to 355 or 350 We're gonna do some spray just so it doesn't stick. Okay. Okay, so now that we have the mac and cheese, now we're gonna take some cheese to top it off with. So I'm gonna start with some mozzarella, which you just wanna spread it out right on top. You just want the cheese to melt, and then you could put it to like the broiler and let it crisp up a little bit. Okay, so let's get on the mozzarella, and then now we're gonna top it with the other cheese. Okay. And we're gonna top it with some parsley just to give it a little bit of, you know, some pretty color. Now we're just gonna wait on the oven, and then that's gonna go in for a few minutes to, you know, crisp up, melt the cheese, and then we'll put it in the broiler for a few minutes to really crisp up. I figured while we wait for the oven to preheat for the pan, let's try some of the macaroni on its own. It's good. Oh yeah. I am more of a Kraft mac and cheese person. That's what I grew up on. But this is good. And she's creamy. It's so good. Look at that. Let's cut right into a piece. Look at that. Oh yeah. And that is my mac and cheese.